So guys, welcome back to Comic Book Cafe. This time around we're reviewing Hyperion issue number 2. Now this is the first issue of the series. Start off very kind of dark. We start off basically our main character Hyperion pretend to be a regular guy who's a trucker who has this girl following him who thinks he's Hyperion and needs him and wants him to be because she has this carnival, this group called the Carnival after her, and she, throughout the comic book they went back and forth he was or not, and eventually he does become show his Hyperion, and basically hits him with his truck and ruins his truck. So his truck is gone and they're in the middle of nowhere, and there you go. The carnival seems to be gone. So we start off this book not with the main characters, but with these two kids teenagers making out in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden these tentacle things come through the vents of the car and eventually kills both of them. And that's how we start the book. Again, Hyperion has been a much darker book than I thought it would be, at least in the start. So anyway, we go back to Hyperion and the girl basically flying somewhere, and he is still trying to ditch her, trying to leave her somewhere, trying to be like, you know what, I don't want no part of this, just go, So he drops her, she says to go somewhere, and he says, you'll be safe here. And she came back for a dog, and there you go. He's still trying to ditch her, but ultimately he doesn't ditch her. And he is mad because, let's be honest, she tricked. The girl's name is Doll. She tricked him, right? She told him she was something she wasn't, and he is very upset about it, clearly. But she plays the hero card, knowing she's supposed to be a hero and everything else. And, and she's like, last time I checked, less than an hour ago, you used the tractor trailer like a baseball bat, which he did, of course. And he stopped the carnival. He didn't, stopped at least what they're doing for now, clearly. And that's all he did. And, he knows a place where they can go. So, the next we go to the Valentine County Correctional place, where we're introduced to another member of the carnival, and he is clearly somebody important. Was it Mr. Hyperion? Clearly he's somebody important, more almost maybe the leader of the group, and he's he's basically like, how did you guys get beat, and tell me what happened, who did this to you, kind of thing. And that's the carnival for this book. That's that main group of the carnival. That's all we see for the rest of this book. This is like Hyperion going back to Mark trying to explain to his boss how he destroyed the truck, I guess, again. And he's with a girl, and she's got a book of him, cutouts of him and everything else, because asked her how she knew about him, and they have to see a good guy in the diner, very upset guy in the diner about something that happened to somebody, and so they go to check out the crime scene, and they're looking at the car that obviously the boy and the girl have been in, and worm-like things, and they're searching around with the dog, and ultimately they come upon this house in the middle of nowhere, and they search around there, and they see these things of DNA, like human compost of obviously victims, and the girl's DNA that had been killed is there, because again Hyperion can do that, and they don't see that whatever the thing is, it's above them, and the girl sees a Valentine Ticket County Carnival, so she's like, how is this guy connected to the carnival? And then it kind of goes after her, and then Hyperion tries to stop it, and the next thing you know it's attacking Hyperion, and she thinks it's going to kill him, and that's how we end it. And the next issue, Wormboy the Crawling Menace. That's what they're calling the next issue. So this is a rather interesting dark series, much more darker than I thought it would be, but yeah, I'm weirdly finding it enjoyable because it is a different superhero book. Yes, Hyperion is more or less the Superman of the Marvel Universe. That's basically what you think of when you think of his powers and what he can do. He is their version of Superman without calling him Superman, without having the trademark stuff to get in trouble. This is Superman. And so he's helping this girl who doesn't know what's going on. You don't know who the carnival is, and now we got Wormboys fighting, and of course the new Mr. character who clearly is the leader of the group, and so clearly the carnival is going to become a presence, obviously, in the first arc, if not more. So what do you think of Hyperion? Are you enjoying this far? Again, I am enjoying this book because it's different and it's darker, and most comic books aren't as dark as this is going, which is rather interesting for this type of character, and obviously taking this character in a different direction. So again, if you haven't read this book, you're probably better to read the first issue before you jump into the second one, just so you get a full view of who the carnival is and the mindset of Hyperion and why he's want to be a regular guy named Mark and away from the Squadron Supreme like he is right now. Is he a hero or is he a murderer? That's really the question he's asked himself in the first issue. Though he doesn't have time to question it this time, he's just kind of had time to basically react to what's going on. Anyway, love to hear your guys' opinions on the book like always. I'd call this a really good book. I won't call it the top or the worst. It is just a really good book that'd be up in the upper books of the week to actually read. So anyway, love to hear your guys' opinions on it, and I'll do another review soon. Later, guys.